Global Markets Update. What's happening in 2025? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the global markets and breaking down the key trends you need to know for 2025. Whether you're an investor, a business owner, or just someone curious about the economy, this video is for you. We'll cover the latest in the US stock market, how geopolitical events are shaking things up, and which emerging markets are worth keeping an eye on. Let's get into it. US stock market trends in 2025. Alright, let's start with the US stock market. It's been a wild ride over the past few years, but 2025 is shaping up to be a year of cautious optimism. Here's what's going on. 1. Interest rates and the Fed. The Federal Reserve has finally started cutting interest rates after keeping them high for most of 2023 and 2024. This is a big relief for the markets, especially for growth stocks and sectors like real estate that thrive on lower borrowing costs. But here's the thing, the pace of these cuts is still uncertain, and investors are keeping a close eye on inflation data to see if the Fed will stay on track. 2. AI and tech dominance. The tech sector is still leading the charge, and AI is the star of the show. Companies like Nvidia, Microsoft, and Alphabet are continuing to innovate, and their stocks are reflecting that. But with great power comes great responsibility. Regulators are stepping up their scrutiny. And there's growing concern about overvaluation in the tech space. 3. Energy transition gains momentum. The push toward renewable energy is stronger than ever. Solar, wind, and battery tech companies are seeing massive investments, thanks to government incentives and corporate commitments to sustainability. However, the sector is still volatile, with challenges like supply chain disruptions and fluctuating commodity prices. 4. Election year volatility. 2025 might not be an election year in the US, but the aftermath of the 2024 elections is still influencing the markets. Changes in fiscal policy, regulation, and international relations are creating uncertainty, and investors are staying cautious. Defensive sectors like utilities and consumer staples are seeing more interest as a result. Geopolitical events shaking the economy. Now, let's talk about the big geopolitical events that are impacting the global economy in 2025. Spoiler alert, it's still a messy world out there. 1. US-China relations. The rivalry between the US and China is as tense as ever. Trade tensions, tech restrictions, and supply chain disruptions are still major issues. The US is pushing for more domestic manufacturing, especially in critical sectors like semiconductors, while China is focusing on self-reliance. This tug-of-war is creating uncertainty for businesses and investors alike. 2. Russia-Ukraine conflict. The war in Ukraine is now in its fourth year, and its impact on the global economy is still significant. Energy markets remain volatile, and Europe is still working to reduce its dependence on Russian gas. The conflict has also had a lasting impact on global food prices, particularly in developing countries. 3. Middle East tensions. The Middle East remains a hotspot, with ongoing tensions between Israel and Iran, as well as the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Any escalation in the region could lead to oil supply disruptions, which would have a ripple effect on global markets. 4. Climate change and natural disasters. Climate change is no longer a distant threat, it's here, and it's impacting the economy. From wildfires and hurricanes to droughts and floods, natural disasters are disrupting supply chains, damaging infrastructure, and driving up costs. Governments and businesses are under pressure to invest in climate resilience and adaptation measures. Emerging markets to watch in 2025. Now, let's shift our focus to the opportunities in emerging markets. These economies are growing fast, and they're becoming key players in the global economy. Here are the ones you should keep an eye on. 1. India. India is still one of the brightest spots in the global economy. With a young population, a booming tech sector, and a growing middle class, it's attracting significant foreign investment. The government's focus on infrastructure development and digital transformation is also driving growth. 2. Southeast Asia. Countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand are becoming manufacturing powerhouses. as companies continue to diversify their supply chains away from China. These nations are stepping up. Vietnam is a hotspot for electronics and textiles, while Indonesia is making waves in the electric vehicle industry. 3. Mexico is benefiting from the trend of nearshoring, basically, companies moving production closer to the U.S. exports, and renewable energy leadership. The country is a major player in biofuels, and it's attracting a lot of investor interest. 5. Africa, don't sleep on Africa. Countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa are seeing rapid growth, driven by young populations and tech innovation. Nigeria's tech and entertainment sectors are booming, Kenya is a leader in mobile payments, and South Africa